Now it's time for us to set up a generative design problem. There's a lot to cover, from assigning constraints, defining loads, and assigning the requirements for our outcomes, so let's get started. To begin, let's define the real-world behavior of the design by adding constraints and loads. At least one constraint is required for a generative design study, so we'll start there. Constraints prevent movement or deformation in the specified directions. In a generative design study, we can apply fixed, pinned, or frictionless constraints. To apply, first select the objects we want to be fixed. As defined in the GE Bracket Challenge, the 4 bolts will be considered infinitely stiff, and we'll do so by fixing the faces in all 3 global directions. If we wanted to enable movement along the X, Y, or Z axis, we can deselect UX, UY, or UZ to remove that constraint. Next, we need to add at least one load. Loads are forces that cause stresses, deformations, and displacements. In a generative design study, you can apply pressure, force, moment, and bearing loads. To apply the conditions described in the design brief, let's start by applying a force load on the inside cylindrical faces of our preserves. You can apply the force normal to a face, at an angle, or along a vector. In the first load case, we know the magnitude is an 8,000 pound force load applied in the Z direction, so we'll switch to the vector option. Fusion gives you the options to enter in any unit type, which will automatically convert to the global setting. Alternately, you can change the unit in the dialog for that study, or change your preference globally. We're going to be working in pound force, so I'll change the setting to that. Since there are 4 load cases we want to solve for and they all have the same constraints, we'll clone the first load case 3 times in the right-click menu in the browser. With 4 identical load cases, we can now easily edit load cases 2, 3, and 4 and change the load cases to match our requirements. The second load case calls to have 8,500 pound force pulling horizontally on the bracket. We'll use a negative Y value so the force is applied in the right direction. The third load case is a static load at a 42-degree angle from vertical, with a magnitude of 9,500 pounds. To do this, we'll switch to the angle load, and we'll use a reference face to set the angle normal to one of the axes. Now, by rotating the force direction using the handle grips, I'll set it normal to the Z-axis, and I'll rotate down negative 42 degrees to match the load we're solving for. The last load we need to solve for will be a torsional load. To create this load case, we'll create 2 force loads, one in the positive Y and the other in the negative Y direction. We'll start by editing the existing load, removing one of the faces, and applying a 1,400 pound force load. Next, we'll add the other force load with a magnitude of negative 1,400 pound force. Now that the constraints and loads are applied, it's time to specify the design requirements. In generative design, we apply the objectives for outcomes, the manufacturing processes we want to solve for, and the materials we want to explore. Let's start by applying the objectives. In a generative design study, we can either solve to minimize the mass, which is ideal if we're looking for a low-weight solution that meets the design criteria, or if you want to solve for strength, you would solve to maximize stiffness. Let's solve to minimize the mass with a safety factor of 2. A factor of safety is the ratio of yield stress to maximum stress, and is the required margin of safety according to the design requirements. Now let's specify the manufacturing constraints. You have the option to choose to include manufacturing constraints to be considered when generating your solutions. You can solve for additive, milling, or unrestricted, which will not consider manufacturing methods when converging on a solution. Note, milling constraints are currently a tech preview and can be turned on inside your Fusion preferences. We'll choose a 50-degree overhang angle and a minimum wall thickness of 50 thousandths of an inch. By choosing both additive and unrestricted, generative design will generate two outcomes, both with and without manufacturing constraints. The final step in the setup is selecting the materials. In a study, you can choose up to 10 materials. We'll choose to solve with titanium, iron, stainless steel, and carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Now it's time to generate outcomes that satisfy our design requirements. As a best practice, use the pre-check tool, which will evaluate your boundary conditions and give you feedback if there's anything missing. In this case, I'm getting feedback that there are some hidden bodies in the studies that haven't been assigned as preserve, obstacle, or starting shapes. I can solve anyway, but I'll easily go back into Edit Model and remove the original bracket from the study before submitting my job. By pressing the Generate button, the dialog will tell you if it's ready to solve and indicate both how many credits you have and how many the study will cost. Submitting a generative design study will consume 25 cloud credits. After a minute, the Explore Results dialog will open and the thumbnails will start to populate as each result goes through its iterations until it converges on a solution. In the last video, we will dive into the Explore workspace and see how we interrogate and ultimately select a result.